What's happening? So I'm just after finishing watching the All Blacks Test match against Ireland, and I mean this was always going to be the most difficult of the Test matches. Away to the All Blacks at Eden Park. You know the All Blacks haven't been beaten there in 28 years, and they had a point to prove. I feel after losing back-to-back Test matches to the Northern Hemisphere's two informed teams. And it's I thought like if you didn't watch that game and you just seen the score, you would have thought, yeah, Ireland got handled. But Ireland must have had at least three tries that were held up, and there was a 10 minute period. The last 10 minutes past the half hour mark before half time, where the All Blacks just scored three tries in quick succession and really killed off the game as a contest, you know. I thought there was the turning point of the game. I thought in the opening half an hour, Ireland were actually the better team. The All Blacks were a lot better defensively though, and there was the try where Sever Reece got the intercept try that really turned the momentum in the favor of the All Blacks, and that was the difference I felt between the All Blacks being at home and being away, because you remember that game like in the Aviva when like Ireland were just battering New Zealand, but they were losing by 5 points at half time. But then they had the home crowd behind them, and they were able to keep going in the second half. And I actually thought in that game, in the Aviva, Ireland battered New Zealand. Like if Ireland were playing, let's say Australia, that day, I think Ireland would have won by around 25 points. But I think the demise of the All Blacks was overstated, and I think they were caught on the end of a long season. They're a team going through transition, so I tried not. I knew that wouldn't have too much of bearing. Playing away in New Zealand. So I thought Ireland's best players on the day were the Munster OGs, Keith Earls and Peter O'Mahony, and I thought Joey Carberry did very well when he came on, which I wasn't actually sure about starting with Keith Earls or O'Mahony, but it turned out to be a great decision by Andy Farrell. I personally thought that Ireland should have started Joey Carberry, because we don't know what kind of form Johnny Sexton's going to be in for the World Cup. He'll be 38 years of age for the World Cup. We don't know if he'll be fit. Like, what kind of role will he play? Will it be an impact sub off the bench? Will he start the first 50 minutes and then bring Carberry on? So I think Carberry needs game time anyway, and I think he has a good track record against the All Blacks. To be honest, I thought James Lowe and Hugo Keenan were quite poor. And for me, James Lowe is a very mercurial player. Like sometimes he can be the best player on the pitch. Like he looked fantastic against the All Blacks, and I'm not completely convinced about Hugo Keenan. At fullback, I thought that they were kind of grooming Jordan Larmour to be Rob Kearney's long term replacement, and then just somewhere along the line, Keenan hit a bit of form, and he was they gave him the rub over Jordan Larmour. But if I'm Andy Farrell next week, hopefully Mac Hansen and Ian Henderson are back. You start them. I'd like to see like a back three of, let's say, Mac Hansen, Jordan Larmour, and I've always wanted to see how Robbie Henshaw would do a fullback, because I think he would do a better job than Hugo Keenan did today, respectfully. And I think you have Aki and Ringrose midfield. No matter what Johnny's condition is, you start with Joey Carberry next week, and then same front row. You bring Henderson in for Byrne if he's available. Same goes with Mac Hansen, obviously. And then I thought Keith Earls was fantastic, but just at his advanced age and his versatility, I think he could be a good choice to bring on off the bench for a 30-minute impact sub next week. But I thought he was Ireland's best player. I think you stick with the players in form. I think Peter O'Mahony absolutely deserves to start next week. I think number eight isn't really Caelan Doris's natural position, so I think you put Jack Conan back in his natural position at number eight. You stay with Van der Fleer, and I think at the minute, while we're getting that kind of form of Peter O'Mahony, I think arguably Peter O'Mahony might deserve the start over Caelan Doris. But if you were to start Caelan Doris, I wouldn't be too angry about it. Yeah, it's just really those 10 minutes just completely flipped the script, and like you knew at half time 28-5, like you knew realistically, like okay, Ireland scored the first try of the second half. Maybe there was a glimmer of hope, but yeah, I mean, for anyone who watched the game, I don't really have to go into too much more analysis. I still feel Ireland are very much in this test series. They've got the most difficult test out of the way. No team has beaten the All Blacks at Eden Park in 28 years. The All Blacks had a point to prove. I still believe, realistically, I don't think. I mean, in theory, it's possible Ireland can win this series, but I mean, but I think if Ireland can keep the score down next week, and I definitely don't think Ireland are out of this series just yet. I think the my money would be on a 2-1 series win for the All Blacks, but I think Ireland can get a series split, and I'm really enjoying the good rugby, and I think with an Eden crowd park behind the All Blacks, that's definitely worth about a 10 or 12 point advantage. So I hope you guys enjoyed the rugby, and I'm looking forward to breaking down more games for you soon.